Welcome. I'm Jen Schwartz with Balance to Wellness. I am an emotion code, body code practitioner. I also do something called allergy release technique and a variety of other things that have come my way in this journey that I've been on, and I'm going to share with you. Today we're talking about the Healy. I don't know if you can see my Healy. There we go. And I always want to start off by saying that the Healy is not intended to cure or treat any condition or disease, illness. It's about identifying imbalances in the body and sending frequencies to bring balance to the body. And when you have balance in the body, that's when healing happens. That's when the things that we are hoping for ourselves on our journey to health starts to shift for us. And the Healy is about supporting that shift. I want to share first a little bit about how I came to this, and then I have some members of this team to share let me add somebody, to share what's been happening for them since they purchased their Healys. So where to begin? I have three kids, 21, 18, and 16, and they have had quite a journey, a health journey, starting with multiple food allergies. It was a pretty insane childhood for them in terms of that. When my middle daughter, I have two daughters, when my middle was around 12, she's 12 and a half, she started having allergic type reactions to all but 7 foods. She literally could only tolerate 7 foods. And she had this throat tightness and wheezing and itchiness, and it was like on the spectrum of anaphylaxis. Ultimately, we had we received a diagnosis. It's something called mast cell activation disorder, and we tried everything to help her. It was 2 years of eating 7 to 15 foods, maybe 20. That she built up to from a variety of things we were working with. Alternative Western medicine, unfortunately, just wasn't our friend. We couldn't get answers. We tried. Ultimately, what helped her was a frequency machine. Now, I had some luck with some allergy stuff that I was dealing with through a frequency machine. And I went in completely skeptical with this practitioner. I thought the whole thing was crazy. And lo and behold, I was tolerating, chocolate and being able to be around dogs, which was crazy for me. So my daughter, I've got someone coming in. Sorry, just making sure everyone's coming in. So she, ultimately, after literally searching high and low, we ended up seeing a practitioner who used a frequency machine to identify underlying infections that she was dealing with that we didn't, unbeknownst to us. And he created this remedy, this energy encoded water, and sent us on our way, which I was kind of laughing at. I'm like, okay, so this is going to help her to be able to tolerate her foods. I was, even at this point, I had been exposed to frequency and exposed to a lot of alternative approaches. I still didn't buy it. Well, within 3 weeks of starting this remedy, she gained back almost all of her food. It was extraordinary. All the while, we also had been pursuing something called allergy release technique, and I'm now actually a practitioner of this. And through that modality, we use something, it's a frequency machine. It also addresses underlying infection type stressors to the immune system, among other things. So I've had a lot of experience with frequency at this point. And I start in the Emotion Code Facebook group. I start seeing little posts about this little device. And when I first saw it, I thought to myself, what? There's a personal frequency device? That idea is extraordinary. But it kind of screamed of network marketing, MLM, and wasn't my thing. So I kind of just pushed it to the side. And it kept coming up and I kept looking at it. And I have people who are involved with, essential oils and they're good products. So I started saying to myself, just because it's sold that way does not mean it's a bad product. And the idea of having this frequency device, a personal frequency device, you don't have to go to a practitioner to have this benefit, intrigued me to no end. So I said, you know what, I'm just going to buy one. I just want to see. Well, I had been dealing with, for over 15 years, probably close to 20 years, a horrible sleep issue. I couldn't sleep more than 3 or 4 hours. For me, sleeping for 5 hours was like, it was like a glorious night of sleep. And soon after I started running the sleep programs on the Healy, I started sleeping through the night. And I was like sleeping deeply. And I was dreaming and remembering we obviously dream, but I hadn't remembered a dream in, probably a decade. So when that started happening, and it was maybe, I say a week because I don't want to be exaggerating it, but I think it was less than a week. And look, these things can happen for different people. It depends on your own body. Everyone's individual. But for me, it happened rather quickly, and I could not believe it. And I was sold. I said, "This is incredible." I started using it for other things as well. I've had some allergy things. I'm actually working on some foods with my ART practice, but I'm not actually to the foods. I will be working on the foods, and I know that there are certain foods that bother me, but I don't have a serious reaction to them. So I'll eat them and deal with the consequences. And when it happens, I go, instead of taking my Zyrtec, I will generally go run a allergy meridian program or an intolerance program. And I'll show you some of these. Oh, you know what? I forgot to connect all of this. So it'll take me a second to do that. I'm going to show you all of these programs that come on the Healy, but this is just sort of my story and what got me excited. And now I'm kind of laughing at myself because I now sell this device. I'm one of those people that I was kind of like, they're doing that MLM thing. So here I am. I believe in the product. That's why I sell it. And I want to take a moment now and invite some of the people who I shared Healy with, who are now Healy owners, and they have their own stories. And that's what's really fun for me, is people I know had no connection to Healy, no interest in selling it, and they're having their results. So I thought that would be really nice to have them share their stories. So who wants to go first? Alicia, do you want to start?
Yeah, sure. So my story is kind of similar to Jen's, where I'll just start from the beginning. I have been in the natural health world for probably 8 years now. Struggled with different health concerns, but within the last 4 years, my biggest health struggle has been chronic insomnia. And some of my friends on this call have been alongside me, prayed for me, and just like tried helping me search for different answers. This insomnia was so bad. At my worst, I went like full 3 days without sleeping. Well, I probably got like 2 hours of sleep in 3 days. And I'm a mom of 3 kids, and I have a husband and a family to take care of. And when you go 3 days without sleeping, you turn into a crazy person. And I was definitely going there. So what did I do? I turned to the internet and I started researching what could help. And I specifically posted in one of my health groups, does anybody have success with curing insomnia? And Jen popped on that post and she said, actually, I cured my insomnia in a week with this device. And I'm like, okay. But so I didn't believe her. And again, it screamed MLM. And I'm like, well, I don't know. I'm desperate. Like, I'll take anything. So I had a meeting with Jen, and I don't know. She said that she cured her insomnia in a week. And I was like, okay, well, so we messaged back and forth. Like, I was super skeptical, and I took time interviewing people and asked her a ton of questions. But in the end, my husband and I decided, we're like, well, let's just try it. So we dove in, and I've always been very anti-MLM. I'm sorry if that offends anybody, but it just hasn't been my thing, kind of like Jen. And I just went in and I was going to try the Healy and see if it worked for me. Well, throughout these last 4 years, I've always said, if I found something that cured my insomnia or helped me sleep, that I would share it with the world. And I started using the Healy. Yesterday marked 1 full month that I have slept 7 to 8 hours every single night. And so I know that it's the Healy. The Healy is helping me sleep, and I'm just ecstatic about it. And so now I'm just like, there's something to this therapy. I've had a lot of other like minor successes. I was able to get rid of a migraine on Sunday after working, just with using the frequency therapy. So I don't know, there's a lot of success to be had, but I'm just happy I'm sleeping again. And that's why I want to just share it with others.
I love how you say a minor success getting rid of a migraine. Like that's the sign of a good mom. You're like, you're a warrior. That's impressive. Thank you for sharing. I love that. I love hearing your story. Lisa, do you want to share some things? Lisa's
Sure.
got a book in the works.
I have a lot of testimonials because I am kind of an early adopter on things like this, and I've been working in the wellness industry for about 20 years. So when I see a new tool, I jump in really fast. And I didn't know Jen at all when I bought the Healy from her. I saw her post in one of the emotion code groups, and I had seen things about the Healy several times, but I didn't pay attention to what it was. So when I finally paid attention to what it was, because she had a well-written post, I contacted her and asked her about it. So she did a demo for me and I bought it. And that was about, I think 5 weeks ago, something like that. And so I just started using it on myself and my family and a few clients and friends. Anybody who would let me, I would use it. I've done it mostly virtually, but I have a really good in-person testimonial. I live in Florida, and February in Florida is like pollen season. So we're at the height of environmental allergies for a lot of people right now. So the first weekend I had my Healy, I went over to my mom's house, and she was on almost day 3 of a horrible allergy attack. And she was at the point where she was like, oh my gosh, what if this is COVID? I feel terrible. My throat hurts, everything, like every symptom you could have from environmental allergies, she had it. So I'm like, let me just put this on you. I put the Healy, the wristbands on. I ran the allergies program, and it runs for about, I think, 50 minutes or so. And 20 minutes in, she had 0 symptoms left. She was like 100% free of the symptoms. So now I'm not saying we cured her allergies, because, you know, this has been a lifelong issue she's dealt with, and she thought it was a miracle. So she bought a Healy after that. And now she can do it for herself. But the next day I went over to my mother-in-law's house. She was having the same issue. So I put the Healy on her, and it worked the exact same way. All of her symptoms were gone in 15 or 20 minutes. So then she bought a Healy too. And so my kids also have allergies. My son, he's 6, but he won't let me put the wristbands on him, and the Healy is not actually cleared for use on children. I do use it on my kids. So I think that's something that everybody has to make the decision on whether they're going to do that or not. But my kids have pretty severe allergies. One of them has environmental allergies. The other one has food allergies and multiple chemical sensitivities. And so what I do with them is I don't put the wristbands on them or the electrodes. I just run the programs and put the Healy in their pocket, or when they're sleeping, I put it next to them. So it used to take me an hour in the middle of the night to get my son to stop sneezing and, you know, snot everywhere and snoring and snorting and all of that. And so now when I put the Healy next to him in bed when he's asleep, and he starts when he starts doing that. It takes about 15 minutes, but it clears out his sinuses, and then he can breathe with his mouth closed and all of that. So for us, it's been pretty life-changing, because I could actually get those symptoms to stop before, but it took a lot more work. It took a lot of supplements. It took a lot of work during the day to prevent that from happening at night. And now I feel like I just have this quick and easy tool that, of course, I paid for it, but now every time I use it, it doesn't cost me anything to use it. So another story is, this is probably my favorite one so far. Well, actually, they're all my favorites, but this one has to do with my kids, and it's going to save me a lot of money. So I probably like this story the best. My kids, I've been taking them to see a nutritional therapy practitioner, and she does muscle testing, and she tests different points on their body, different organs, and gives each one a rating. So like thymus, adrenals, liver, there's a bunch of them that she tests every time. So she tests, that's okay. So usually my son has made a lot of progress over time. Last summer, he was taking probably like 16 supplements a day. Luckily, both my kids can swallow pills. So this has been a good thing for us over time to help with their symptoms, but it's been a huge pain as well, because every 3 weeks we're going to this nutritional therapy practitioner. And then I'm buying all of these supplements, these herbal supplements and things, so that we can manage their symptoms. So we happened to go the week before I got my Healy, and my daughter was taking 6 different supplements 3 times a day. My son was down to 2 supplements twice a day at that point. And I decided at that point, and I'm not recommending that anybody else do this, but I was at a point of pretty extreme frustration, a little of feeling desperate, something that probably all moms feel it sometimes. And so I decided that we were going to stop taking the supplements altogether. I just stopped. Cold turkey, stopped. We're going to handle this a different way. But what I did was I programmed all of the supplements into the Healy. So I could still give the frequencies of the supplements to my kids 3 times a day for my daughter, 2 times a day for my son. And a month later, we went back to the nutritional therapy practitioner, and she did all of her muscle testing. Normally what she does is she tests each organ, and she gives it a rating on a scale up to 10. 10 means it's good. They don't need a supplement, then we can reduce supplements. My daughter's never had any organ at a 10 ever. She's 3. And my son does sometimes, but that's why he's down to 2 supplements. So when she tested each of them on all of those organ points, they both scored 10 on every single organ, and they hadn't taken a single supplement in an entire month. And that was, I'm not saying that would happen for everybody. I see a lot of discussion about this kind of thing. And if you program in the supplement, does that mean you can quit taking it? And people talk about it with medications too. And as a professional, I would say never do anything like that without your doctor's support and recommendation and approval. As a professional and a mother, I kind of took that liberty myself. And also, we're talking about herbal supplements. We're not talking about like an EpiPen or something like that. So I was comfortable making that choice, and it played out really well for us, because now they're both down to 0 supplements a day, and the Healy's doing all the work for us. So that's probably my top testimonial.
That's really, I love that. It's just so wild. It's just, yeah, this is incredible. And really it's showing that the Healy is doing what it needs to do to bring balance to the body. And when you talk about testing all those different organ points, that's a testament to exactly that. I mean, I assume that when she's testing, it's really, are they balanced? Right. And wow, great. Thank you so much. I am now going to share my screen, and I am going to take you through the Healy so you can see for yourself, what is this? What is this device? The Healy, I see, wait, 2 chats. I just want to, okay. The Healy is, You always turn on the Healy before you enter one of the apps. The Healy, all Healys come with this app, which is the pink, we call it the pink dot app. It's the Healy app. We're first going to go to this app. There are 4 different models of Healy. I'm going to show you, it's the resonance model. It is the one that has everything. And at the end, I'm going to show you which models come at what price, so you know. All right. Disclaimer again, not intended to heal or treat or cure any specific condition. Oh, that's what I ran last night. All right. These are the different menu pages of the pink app. The pink app is the electrode. We wear them on your wrist mostly. There are some other ways of doing electrodes, which we would share. And that's one thing I want to also be really clear about. What we're about to go through will likely seem complicated. It's a lot, but it is really not complicated. And when you purchase from someone on this team, you get full support. So you're gonna have an onboarding session. You're gonna learn how to do this. We're here to answer questions. We have a Facebook group that you join, and it's a special Facebook group where we put lots of information on there. So I just wanna make sure that you realize that this will seem likely overwhelming, but it really isn't. All right, so these are the program pages that come on the resonance model and actually the Healy Holistic Plus model. I'm just gonna go through. Each one of these is a program unto itself. The programs run anywhere from 20 minutes up to, I think 70, maybe the highest one. I'm not gonna go into any one program today. We don't have enough time, but I just wanna show you the program pages. So pain, stimulation, learning, fitness, job and sleep, mental balance, beauty, skin, bioenergetic, ooh, they changed the name. It's now bioenergetic harmony. It was bioenergetic balance. But these programs, I mean, they're so robust. So the immune system, so if you have a cold coming on, a lot of people run the immune system. Oh, it's so interesting. Oh, food sensitivities, they've changed some of the names. This is literally just the update I just did yesterday. Meridians, the allergy meridian, that's one I use a lot. That's kind of no, I'm not going to take the Zyrtec because the Zyrtec makes me tired. I'm going to go to the allergy meridian program. Meridians 2, chakras, protection programs, deep cycle, bioenergetic support. And then there's a page where it says therapist programs. Some people have some pretty specific things that they really want support for. You can actually, I didn't talk about this, the Healy is actually an offshoot. It's the same inventor, the person who invented the Healy invented something called the time waiver machine. The time waiver frequency machine is much like my machine that I showed earlier. It's a practitioner model, professional model. And you can actually work with a time waiver practitioner to get a special customized program for your needs sent to your Healy. So most people probably don't do that. I actually have one. I have a different Healy that I have a different program on, but it's available. So that is what we affectionately call the pink dot app of Healy. Now I want to take you over to the blue dot app. This only comes on the resonance model, okay? This is what we refer to as the scanning app. Oh my goodness. My do not disturb is not working. Apparently. All right. So this is the resonance app. This is where you actually can scan your energy field, scan your body, and see where the imbalances are. So we can do this by a resonance analysis or an aura analysis. The aura we're not going to talk about today, but that is where, as Lisa discussed how she encoded the frequencies of the supplements, you can do supplements and essential oils, affirmations. There's all sorts of things that you can do through the aura analysis. And it also is an aura analysis, and you can get support for your aura. Resonance is what we're going to focus on today. So let me ask, does anybody have a desire to get scanned today? Myself.
I will.
You will. Bridget.
Yeah.
Bridget, you're on. Okay. I am going to take your name, your birthday, your birthplace, and put it in the Healy. All right. Now I'm going to take your picture to put you in. And the reason we're doing this, just to explain, is this is how the Healy is going to pick up on your energy, your frequencies, your needs, as opposed to mine. Okay. So what we do when we do a scan is we're really trying to find out what you resonate most with of all those programs we just saw, those program pages. So it says continue database selection. This is going to be scanning the gold cycle page all the way down, all those pages that we did, that we saw earlier in the pink app. So it says all Healy programs, okay? So we're going to ask, this is setting intention, okay? We're gonna ask, with what does Bridget have the greatest resonance now in this moment? We're gonna start the analysis. I'm gonna use my left thumb and I'm going to set intention of scanning you to see what does Bridget have the greatest resonance with. Okay, so the way that we suggest that you do the scans, your top 5 come up each time. So your top 5 program pages, essentially. So the Healy Meridians 2 is coming up and it's at 61%. Healy Fitness is coming up at 57%. Learning programs, 55%. And the percent is it's how much you need it. So the higher the percent, the more you need it. The gold cycle programs, which I didn't really talk about, are the foundational programs of the Healy. There are 144,000 frequencies just in the gold programs alone. And then Healy Pain Psyche programs at 54%. What we generally recommend is that you drill down on the top 2 categories. Sometimes you'll drill down on the top 3. For today, we're just gonna drill down on 1, okay? So we're gonna do the Meridians program just in the interest of time. So we're not gonna run the frequencies of these top 5 program pages. We're going to run and see, we're gonna drill down on Meridians program. How do we do that? We go to the bottom, the heart rate monitor at the bottom, which you can't see because it's covered up. Go back into resonance, go to Bridget. And now we're going to go to the Meridians 2 page, okay? So you see right here, because that was your top priority. And we're again gonna ask the question, with what does Bridget have the greatest resonance within this program? Okay, so your highest, which 52%, it's high, it's not super high. If anything that's above a 63%, we would run these through the vibration. I'm gonna show you that in a moment. And then you might hop over to the pink app, put on your wristbands. I forgot to tell you, we don't need these for this app. These are not necessary. These come off. But your highest program that you resonate with, you might want to hop over to the pink dot app and run that with the microcurrent. I'll explain in a moment the difference. But your top 5 programs within the Meridians is the lungs, hormonal balance, kidney, circulation, and lymphatic system. When meridians or bioenergetic harmony come up, sometimes anything can come up. We don't necessarily know why they're coming up, but there's something that is resonating for you on an energetic level in your body that you need these programs. So we're gonna send the frequencies. Now, these frequencies are being sent by vibration, okay? When you have the microcurrent bands on, the electrodes, that's being sent in a more physical way. It's going right to your cells. And the idea is to increase the energy of your cells so that they can be healthier. This is more informing your body and using vibration. It's like a re-education of how things are supposed to run, okay? So with your permission, I'd like to send you these frequencies. Does that work?
Yes.
Okay. So we're gonna go vibrate. And there are different durations that you can set this on, as little as less than 1 second up to hours, but you wouldn't send hours to a human being. But let's just we're gonna do 17 seconds for purposes of today, all right? So here we go, when we push start, and that's actually sending you the frequencies that you need from these programs. So if these same programs were being sent to someone else, it would be a different frequencies that are going to be received by that person. This is actually identifying what you need. And there you have it. Now, some people, when they have these scans done, are like, wait, should I feel something? You don't necessarily feel anything from the frequencies coming over. And also, Healy is really about a consistency over time, right? I didn't run one vibration program and then all of a sudden I was sleeping through the night. It was a few times, 2 to 3 programs a day for, I'd say, less than a week. But it's not typically where you run one thing one time and then you have, this huge transformation. It can happen, particularly with pain. There's a lot of people who are using it with pain that they can get some pretty quick results. Not always, it depends on the situation. The other thing I wanted to share is there are energetic homeopathic supports that come with the resonance. So if you're familiar with Bach flowers, that is a pretty popular one. And then there are a total of 7 extra supports, so like the amino acids, there's cell salts, Australian bush flowers. Those are, often used as anti-anxiety, other supports for the body physically. They have incredible reporting of what each thing is. I wish we had time to do more because I would show that to you. But I didn't know that it came with the Healy. It just to me, it was a bonus. And I use them, multiple times a day. I love those. I send those to, my family. Reiterating the point that the Healy is not approved for under 18, but I do send the frequencies to my kids who happen to be older. Okay, let me see. I want to take a moment. Thank you, Bridget, for being a volunteer. Do you have any questions?
No, I don't. Thanks.
You are so welcome. So the next thing I wanted to do, I want to share what comes on what model. Does anybody have any questions in general at this point? Wow. Okay, nothing. All right. I'm going to share this. I'm going to pull up. All right. So during the sale, so I don't know if you're aware, but there's actually a promo going on. There's a sale going on through April 30th. And that sale is a free upgrade. So there are 4 models, as I mentioned, of Healy. The gold edition comes with the gold program page. Typically, it's the gold program page and one other page that you of your choice. And it's $470. With the sale, with a promo, you get a free upgrade. When you buy a gold, you actually get the Healy Holistic Health. And so that comes with the gold programs, but it also comes with the pain, psyche, the bioenergetic balance, 1 and 2, mental balance, meridians 1 and 2, sleep, and skin. It's actually bioenergetic harmony now. If you purchase the Healy Holistic Health for $942, you actually will get the plus. And the plus comes with all those pink app programs that we went through earlier come on the Healy Holistic Plus. So it's the learning, the fitness, the job, beauty, chakras, and protection. That is normally $1413. And during the sale, if you purchase a plus, you actually get the resonance. And the resonance comes with that extra app where you can do the scanning, where you can encode the frequencies of the essential oils and the affirmations. You can also have those homeopathic energetic supports as well. So that is normally $2357, and during the sale, it's $1413. Anyone have questions on that? No. Okay.
I have a question.
Yes. Oh, I'm
so So I'm interested in the resonance one. So if I wanted to purchase the plus, I would get the resonance instead. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, you actually, the way they structured the logistics of it, you actually will purchase the resonance and get it for the price of the plus.
And that would be the nine something,
No, that
or
would
the
be
14.
14, 13.
Gotcha. And then are you going to explain, like, is there some type of a warranty possibly?
You know what? It's interesting. I know it's at least a year, but I think it might be 2. I need to verify that. I'm so glad you mentioned that because I keep meaning to ask. And I don't remember. Does anybody know? Lisa, do you know? Kelly, yeah. I need to ask. But I'm fairly certain it's at least a year. I can find out and get back to you all.
Okay.
Okay. Thanks. I should know that. I'm kind of embarrassed that I don't.
Question.
Go ahead, Bridget.
Oh, I'm sorry. How do you, I mean, she brings up a good point about the warranty. So then how would I know, like, if it's not working? Like, I can't really.
You mean like the actual
Like, what if it's not working? And how do I know that it's not?
Well, that's actually a good question. Now, one way that you could know, I mean, the types of things, obviously, if it's glitchy or if it literally won't turn on or things like that are obvious, right?
Right.
In terms of like, are the frequencies coming out of the, like, am I getting the frequencies? One way, like, is if you're on the Pink app, you can actually feel the prickly.
That's true.
I
did experience that.
Now
Yes.
I don't recommend keeping it that high where you actually feel it. When you learn how to run it, we teach you to scale it back. But if you actually wanted to know if you could. Now, some people don't feel it at all. And that's
me. I don't feel it at all.
Yeah. So some people are less sensitive. And so that's a little tricky too. My husband feels it at like 5%. It's crazy. Typically between 30 and 65% is what you'd feel. Or where you'd run it, and maybe 5% more is where you'd feel it. That's a good point, Erin. Try it on somebody else. So if you don't feel it, you could try it on someone else. If nobody's feeling it, well, then maybe there's something wrong with the device. That's actually a really great suggestion. Thank you. Love that. It's like so simple, but yeah, I didn't think about it.
And I think Erin just brought up another good point, that she says that her hip is feeling better, but she's only running the gold programs. Why do you think that is?
So the gold programs, there's a reason why they have a gold model. I mean, they're powerful in and of themselves. It's, you don't get the scanning and all of the rest, but the gold programs were created by someone named Nuno Nino, and they are really powerful. So when I talk about my sleep results, I didn't actually mention this, but I scan myself at night in the Blue app, the sleep program. So I will go into the sleep. I will see, there's only 4 sleep programs. So they all come up because it comes up with the top 5. I send those frequencies to myself. Don't need the wristbands. I then hop over to the gold programs in the Pink app, and I will run typically relax. I do try to get release in there sometimes as well. And that's my ticket, like, to sleep. So the gold I do use the sleep programs as well, but it's not, the gold is very powerful. And in fact, a lot of people, in the beginning, we recommend that you use the gold programs only for the first couple weeks. You can do a little bit in the Blue app as well, the resonance scan. But in terms of the microcurrent, to run only gold programs. I like to reiterate this over and over and over again. When you're done with your 2 weeks, it's not like, oh, great, I'm done with the gold programs. Now I'm on to the rest. You want to keep incorporating the gold programs because they're really, really the foundation of Healy. Does that answer?
Yes. Thank you.
Oh yes. Also, Erin, good point. And this is a really, really important point. Especially, this is why I love the scans so much. People say, well, which model should I get? And I sound salesy by saying, well, if you can afford the resonance, get the resonance. I get it. It sounds salesy, but the reality is it then tells you what to run because you don't always know the why. You don't know, you may have pain, and if you don't have the resonance, you may run pain programs and you don't realize it's a connective tissue issue. Or, it could be so many different things. You don't realize it may be a mental balance issue. I mean, it can be, we don't know. So that's why if finances are an issue and you can't get the resonance without making it a big burden for yourself, don't get the resonance.
Mhm.
But and get a gold model, or get, in this case, you're not going to get a gold, you get an upgrade, because it's fabulous. It has a lot of benefit. But if you can afford to do the resonance, I always recommend it.
Yeah, and the other thing, Jen, is, and of course we want this for your health, but like I said, oh my gosh, I want the resonance, but I don't, it was a push for me to get it for 1,500. And so I have introduced some of my friends, and they have had great results, so they wanted to buy them. So that's another way of getting it, is you can introduce it to people that might be having sleep issues, or might be having eczema and all these other things that we know help. And so if 3 friends decide to purchase, you basically have it. And then with the promotion that we're running, or that Healy's running, is you get a free resonance.
If you sell 3 in the first 30 days of purchase of registering with Healy,
Yes.
usually the day you purchase, you earn a free resonance. If you purchase a resonance, you earn a free resonance. If you purchase a different model, you can earn upgrades, and ultimately a free resonance if you were to share enough. You got my hesitation and skepticism about the MLM model. It's a great model because people who love things share things. And so, for me, it's been an easy thing to share, and people get interested and they want to purchase one. And so, to Kelly's point, it does make it more affordable if you are interested in that. And if you're not, it's totally fine too. There's no pressure. Any other questions?
Jennifer, I just wanted to bring up about how Healy might be switching to a subscription model after the April sale ends.
Yes, thank you. So when you purchase your Healy now, it is what you pay for, you get. There's no monthly obligation. There's no subscription. There are some subscriptions that you can add to your Healy. Like there's an animal subscription. You can use the Healy without the animal subscription. People use it on their pets all the time, but there's some special programs on it. More than rumor, it sounds like it's happening after the sale that Healy is going to be going to a subscription model. So it might be that, we don't know the details. It might be that the devices cost less, but there's an obligation, a monthly obligation that would be indefinite for the time you want to continue to subscribe. So that is one thing that is incentive for going forward with it during this sale, because we just don't know what that looks like. And this is an opportunity to just own it outright in the programs that all come with it. Yeah. Anyone else?
Well, Karen wanted me to make sure you read her.
Oh.
Did you read it? Her chat, because she had to hop off.
Thanks, Jen. I love my Healy, stepped away, but wanted to share that it's taken away headaches and pain for me, and I intuitively know it is on point with what I need. Okay, great.
That's true.
Love that. So feel free to be in touch. I'm having fun with so far, you see it's very women heavy, but with the women who have purchased, and we're kind of on this journey together. I mean, I love waking up to like Alicia sleeping through the night, and Lisa's what's the latest story she's got, of what it's doing for her family. There is a 2-week return on it. I always like to share, and I can't believe it took me this long into the call to share it. Healy they went from a $7 million company in revenues to over $120 million, I think is where they are now. In like a year, they went to over 120. They are ramping up customer service. It's much better than it was. It still has a ways to go. But I like people to know that. They have this now consultant that if people have technical issues. I had it's rare, at least people have had technical issues. It happens. It's usually user error, and we can address it. Sometimes a device comes and this is technology. And now I know somebody who I sold one to worked with this consultant, and he said he was really helpful, and it's working now. It's fine.
Wow.
So, and it's free to reach out to this consultant.
That's great news.
Yeah. So, but I want people to understand that it is, it's a company that's grew way, 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 way faster than they were prepared for. And it's hard to plan for that. How do you plan? You don't know you're going to do that. So they're working really hard to catch up, and it's happening, which is great.
It is.
So I think that's all for tonight. Thank you for coming. I don't even know what most of you look like, but you see the names. But we appreciate you being here, and whoever invited you to this call, if you have interest in pursuing the purchase of a Healy, definitely reach out to them, and they'll help you walk you through the process. But you become a part of this team, and supported by all of us.
Yes. And we're making it very easy for you. Jen is definitely taking the lead of putting everything you need in one spot to use your Healy, upload your Healy, and then we're always available with phone calls or Zooms.
Yeah. We do try and do, I've been so busy with the sale, but we had one recently, just like a check-in, hop on, is there you have any questions? How are you using your Healy? I'm learning things along the way too. It's like, Lisa, some of the stuff that you share, I'm like, yeah, right. That's awesome. So I love that process. I'm just a few months ahead of you guys in terms of owning mine, right? This came to the US in the summer, I think June, maybe. So it hasn't been here that long. So I think that's it.